Hello guys, Inslayerclone here, friendly neighborhood cell, I guess. I can't really use that name anymore, unfortunately. Well, because I feel like, the Matrix is clapping down, so I can't say that anymore. I guess I have to say friendly neighborhood black pillar, I guess. Maybe not even that. I have to figure out a new term now. New intro, I guess. You know? Thanks a lot, Netflix and their stupid television show, I guess, Netflix and their stupid television shows now ruin my aesthetics. I mean, technically, have not ruined my aesthetic, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say. I am the creator of the, maybe not creator, but I am part of the community, of course, and now everyone's asking me, oh, do you know Andrew Tate? Do you know like the incels and the black pillars and and all that stuff because of some Netflix television show, right? Netflix television show, pretty much. I got to like tone it down. I guess I got to like we got to like do what Mister half Mexican, half like American guy, podcaster. Who him with Kanye West. I got to tone it down like because Patrick Davis didn't like him saying the N word and stuff. So we got to turn it down and stuff like that. So you know, hopefully the YouTube AI doesn't say for hate speech because I'm definitely not a hateful person. I apologize, YouTube AI. But yeah, I got to tone it down. Saying we got to wind down the messaging. I guess got to keep it PG rating. I guess now, unfortunately. But anyway, guys, I guess that was a stupid intro. I guess, but anyway, so today I want to talk about not having friends and stuff. So I've already discussed about Gen Beta, why it's already over for Gen Beta and stuff. Today I want to talk about not having friends. So in the light of like the adolescence television show and stuff, you know I do know Andrew Tate, and I mean I wouldn't say I wouldn't know him personally, like I've seen him in person, or whatever. But let's just say I was like the first few people to know him before, even when he blew up in 2022 on TikTok and shit. And Andrew Tate's been a popular figure since 2017 on like Alex Jones and stuff like that. I guess he was on Big Brother as well in 2016 and stuff as well. But like he really became like a popular figure. He became Andrew Tate in 2022 pretty much because he was just like another. Back then when Andrew Tate was on Big Brother and stuff, he was like another celebrity and stuff. No different than I don't know, freaking Madonna or some bullshit. He says, oh, that's another celebrity. I guess he was a kickboxer and stuff. But yeah, but now he's become a symbol and stuff in some form. I guess now in 2022. 2025. I guess. I mean, like the guy from Germany. Not maybe not Germany, Austria. He's become a symbol now of this type of mindset, I guess. And I guess they're gonna lump people like me as well with him, even though I have a lot of disagreements with Andrew Tate here and there and stuff. I mean Andrew Tate is not pro black pill anyway. He thinks black pill is stupid and stuff. You know, pro any of that stuff. So I guess it's a dividing like the manosphere, black red pill sphere, whatever. Manosphere, red pill sphere, black pill sphere and stuff. I guess it's all kind of connected now at this point. They're all lumping us all together, like how I don't know, Britain lumped all the Indians together, I guess. So I guess we're all manosphere now at this point, because that's what the freaking shitty television show said. So so like so I have watched the adolescence television show from episode 1 to 4 and stuff. And what can I say of it? This is just like propaganda. It's no different than like when when those the German movie or Birth of a Nation, you know, in some form, because it may not be like those films and stuff, like absolute propaganda to demonize the people and stuff, you know, or whatever and stuff it is, you know, whatever you can say what it is and stuff. But I'm trying to say that, you know, Birth of a Nation. If you guys don't know what movie is from, a movie from like the 1900s, where they wanna, I think it was produced by the KKK, I think, you know, where they wanna to demonize black people, whatever, and stuff like that, you know. I guess that's what some form like adolescence is in some form, because you know you got the imagery of this individual, this young male, you know, young boy, male, whatever, stabbing a female and stuff to death. So what people now believe, they're connecting this young male to manospherean violence and stuff, incel violence and all that, you know. That's how they're connecting that's how they're connecting everything, you know. So it could just be like, how can you call it? Just like like another television show and stuff. But it is some form of programming the masses, the blue pill masses, or what I call them now, mainstreamists, you know, because these people are mainstream individuals because they watch Netflix. I don't watch Netflix. I actually watch it for free on the internet. There's many websites you can go on to watch this stuff for free and stuff. So I don't give my money to Netflix. And it's kind of funny, isn't it? You know, it's been 5 years, right? Netflix and stuff. Oh, Netflix has done a great job and all that, but people have already forgotten that Netflix also produced one of the most disgusting movies and stuff. Or I won't say produced, but they showed one of the most disgusting movies of all time, you know, on their platform called Cooties and stuff. People have already forgotten that, you know. That's how they've already forgotten, you know. That's how short attention span most people are, you know. Right, everyone wants to get their pitchforks out for Netflix and stuff, you know, and all that and stuff. What they're producing, but they still pay for them because, like I said before, most people are NPCs. You know, they are mainstreamists. They are no different than a B1 battle droid. And I'm not trying to say that as an insult, but I do believe these people are like, you know, they're not like us, right? They're definitely not like us, right? They're easily programmable, right? And this is why, like I said, if some like autocratic individual, like, you know, from Austria and stuff or whatever and stuff, from Georgia or whatever, comes back to life and stuff, you know, most people will fall in line to that guy, you know, most people, you know, because like I said, they need that energy, you know, they need to feel like to be accepted by the group, you know, they need to feel like they're not losing out, you know. That's what they need to feel like, because they're not like us, like I said before, you know. People in the black philosphere, we get it, we understand what it is, you know. We understand how society is, you know, understand how, you know, how all these things operate, you know. But they don't understand. They don't understand this. It's not only this is form of um, entertainment programming. Because, like I said, I think, you know, there was a news article about a year ago or something, maybe 2 years ago, about a lot of like Gen Zers not watching television or don't really watch the news. So now they're using like media and stuff, like, you know, television shows like like common no, Coronation Street or East Enders and stuff to program the masses and stuff, right? When I was talking about what's the movie and was one part of, like, you know, Coronation Street where you know, one of them, I don't really watch Coronation Street, but one of like the girls was talking about, you know, the flu virus and stuff, and about being anti Star Trek, you know. If you guys know what anti Star Trek, you probably can just do the math and unlock the coded language of what I'm talking about. But yeah, being anti Star Trek to question the flu pandemic and stuff. So this is what I believe what it was about. you can say that, Brian Phillips or whatever, the creator of the show, we just want to talk about, we want to have a started discussion about knife crime and stuff, about masculinity, but it's like two eggs hitting two birds with one stone, right? They want to talk about that. They also want to destroy the sector of the internet as well. So, and that's what they're trying to do and stuff. They're trying to demonize the sector of the internet, see these people as evil people and stuff, as like the crazy people and stuff. That's how they want to see people like us. So, not really sure I'm going to upload this on YouTube because of the AI and stuff. I might upload it on Rumble actually, so. But yeah, that's the whole purpose of these, television shows. The whole purpose, right? It's not here to entertain, You have to get that out of your mind. They're not here to entertain, they're here to take, And this is why I always say, guys, you can't really have friends anymore if you're black pilled, I mean, you can have friends, like you can have black pill friends or red pill friends and stuff like that, but are you gonna really see these people around? No, you're not gonna see them. It's like you kind of have to use the internet or somehow to locate these people and stuff to be actual friends in IRL. Like, when Renegade and Oreo Man and Batman Beyond and stuff, 6'2" and shit, when I met in person to do that video and stuff about in 2020, black pill yourself in all areas and stuff, Most of us don't want to do that because it's going to require risk and stuff, because some people are some people are agents and some people are not agents, isn't it? So, this is why, most black pillars just stay online. They don't go and see people in IRL life. It's not because they don't want to, but it's because it's a risk, isn't it? Everything's a risk, I guess, in life, I guess, And is it worth the risk to just because, I want to see this guy, we'll have to do some content? No, it isn't worth the risk, And like I said, the technology is already there. If I want to talk to another black pillar, I can just use Discord or Gilded or whatever. I don't need to go travel and see them in person. Would be nice to see a black pillar in person, but it is what it is, I guess, But yeah, the whole purpose, the reason why you shouldn't really have friends anymore, blue pillar particularly, especially blue pillar friends, because they can now use your, like I said, with this adolescent shit, right? Now, if let's just say my blue pillar friends and stuff, we talked about Andrew Tate. I did talk about Andrew Tate in 2022 and such, about and stuff when he was getting popular, right? To my blue pillar friends at the time, and they were like, they were kind of getting red pilled at that time as well, I guess, in 2022 and stuff, right? I was practically black pilled at that point, right, at that point, and the only reason why I was still friends with them because, like I said, I was still like studying in 2022, getting what I need to get so I can get a job, I guess. So, and so I was kind of somewhat using them for for educational means, I guess, in some form, But yeah, I was studying and they was talking about Andrew Tate and stuff, how the government wants to shut him down, whatever. So they were kind of getting red pilled, and I just said, yeah. I was just like, yeah, I do agree with that. But like I said, I'm far in head, 5 years in the future and stuff. This is just normal way of thinking to me now. Like people talking about people discovering the manosphere in 2025. Because I watched some Netflix show. The manosphere is that to me that's like it's like the art of war, right? It doesn't exist to me anymore. Yeah, the manosphere was cool and 10 years ago and shit, But now, in 2025, what is the manosphere? It's just a place where people take money and stuff, make money from others and stuff, like this other guy and stuff, John Anthony Knifestone and stuff. He still believing, just pay my course and stuff, I'll get you women's and stuff. We can have scientific proof of how to talk to women's. I mean, if you have to pay a course to go and get women's, it's already over. It's already over. You if you couldn't do it the natural way, just by just by going to the pub, saying, talking this, that, and other and stuff, or going to the park, whatever, it's already over and stuff. I would never pay for a dating coach for relationship, because I think that's a scam. That's how I see it as. I ain't gonna pay for what other people get for free. So, and if I don't get a relationship in the future, or I die as a single person, I don't care. I have strong principles at this point. And this is what I mean. You can't like bend the rule. You can't like take any can't downplay your thinking because you also want to have like a normal life. You can't. And like I said, what is normal anyway? What is a normal life? It's you just having, what is called it? It's you just having like doing as the system says, right? Not actually asking questions. And if you do ask questions, it's actually controlled opposition questions, like about communism or whatever. So it's controlled opposition, like like the South African Party, what's it called, EFF, right? They want to so-called solve the economic problems in South Africa and stuff. The black guy, I can't remember his name, but he funds them, right? The same people that are funding, the American stuff, the same people that control the American government is the same people that are funding the South African EFF. So once again, everything is a lie. It's all one big matrix, all one big controlled opposition, right? Believing there's freedom, right? If you fight for me and fight for not, you don't fight for me, right? I think in the Matrix movie as well and stuff, like they're still in the second. There is no escape from the Matrix because, like I said, they're all Matrix. The real world is not another form of a Matrix. The other one, the so-called the fake world, the Matrix, that's one Matrix. The one that the party in Zion, saying with Morpheus, at the end of the movie, that's another Matrix. They're not actually escaped the system, because the reality is, what most people don't want to agree and stuff. Once you exist, once you're born, right, the rest of your life is either you conform or you get left behind and suffer. You still conform, but you're gonna suffer anyway. So either way, you're gonna suffer until you go to your death tomb or whatever, or grave box. So that's the reality. There's no like no like deeper meaning to anything, in life. I always consider it must be a deeper meaning here and there. No, it's not really a deeper meaning, once you start to realize it from a logical perspective. We are imprisoned because we can fly to, I don't know, Spain or something, or China or Japan. You're still not free, You're still in prison, mate, right? Because, I mean, even like you said, just like I said before, why do we need to have a passport to go to another land, right? And you can say, well, just that identification, want to see if people are following the rules and checking this stuff, and I was saying. But yeah, I think I discussed in another video that like the refugees, they can come in on the boats in England. It could be different for other countries, but they don't need a passport to come in. But you need to buy all the stuff. You need to pay for a plane ticket, passport. So it's just so you can leave, right? To go where supposedly go wherever you want, because you can't really go anywhere. Once you're like a threat to the system, that's when they start trying to take your assets away and stuff. So you're not free. Life itself is a prison, right? Once you're born in an area of a community, it could be whatever city, whatever country you are, you're most likely gonna die in that area. Most likely. Maybe you do move to another country and stuff. You maybe you move to Japan and stuff, but you're probably gonna die in that town in Japan. you know, and your children are probably going to die in that town, right? So, so life is a prison, man. You know, we just have to realize it. You know, we've got all this like grandiose like things that everything's improving and stuff. You know, oh yes, everything is improving. The technology is improving. The houses are improving. You know, but the human condition is still the same as it is since, I don't know, 3,000 years ago and stuff. So, you know. But anyway, guys, I don't want to keep this video that long because a lot of my videos really have been quite long and stuff. You know, I mean, especially like you know, it's over for Gen Beta men, boys, whatever, or whatever, Gen Beta, whatever. You know. Anyway, guys, I hope you agree with my talking points and stuff. You know, and like I said, and this is why I don't really have friends. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have friends, but you know, any at this point in time, you need to reevaluate if your friends are really valuing you as you or not. You know, are they willing to go to the ends of the earth, right, when you're down and out, or are they willing to die for you? You know, if they're not willing to do that, I think they're not really your true friends. You know, right? I believe anyway. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about it and subscribe.